Habitation Station gonna be the map here, and map number 2 of this best of 3. Game 1 on Polar Nights was awesome. We saw some very cool strategies coming out from the player spawning in the top left hand spot in the yellow. It's the Zerg representing Seed Gaming, Prebs. And to the top right, the red Protoss player who represents F3, Riska. This should be some cool times. I'm looking forward to it. Game 1 we saw Proxy Hatch come down. So Habitation Station, which is a map with cool things, such as gold bases. I just don't know what we can see. My mind is ready and prepared to be blown. And I like that. I like that a lot. Anytime where a StarCraft game does something a bit out of the ordinary, it makes my caster brain be all like, yes, this is good. And it looks like this drone is coming out very early. What does it have planned, drone? Drone, what are you doing? Okay, you're just checking for proxies. Probably. Maybe. Yeah, okay, just checking for proxies. No proxy 2 gates or anything like that. Drone is happy. Drone is going to come up and check the gold. He's going to take the gold. Comes up and checks. Maybe take the gold. Waiting there. Ready to take the gold base. And boom. Gold base comes down. Nice little seed logo appears. Thanks to Game Heart. And this makes me a very happy player. Well, a very happy player, a very happy caster. If I was a happy player, I wouldn't be a happy player right now if my opponent had taken the gold. Prebs, Riska, sneaking on by. Not checking the gold. What kind of Zerg player takes the gold? Prebs. That's the sort of Zerg player who does that. No natural base. No natural. Okay then. Comes up. Sees the gas and pool, and if he's very well informed on timings of Zerg play, should sit there and go, they're a bit late. There's definitely a hatchery down somewhere. What's going on here? Is the probe going to go and check up the gold base? Looks like no, it will not. It looks like Prebs has got away with his sneaky tricks. But for how long? A Zealot coming out now, just ready to wall off. One gas taken. No mothership core yet because the cyber core isn't finished. So we should see mothership core started up as soon as that probe is done. And whether or not we see a Stalker follow this up will be quite interesting to see. The mothership core should get started pretty quickly. Riska's just a little low on resources there. There we go. Get started up as he takes his own gold. Both of these two taking the ballsy move. But the probe holding this watchtower can just catch a couple of drones coming through there. So knows that his opponent has taken that gold base. Both of these two playing it greedy. However, Prebs a little bit more so. His economy gonna really start skyrocketing thanks to this gold income. And while the gold base does mine out quicker and there's fewer mineral patches, it returns 7 minerals per trip rather than 5, which means you need less drones to saturate it. And the reason that that is important is because by having less drones to saturate it, you immediately free up more lava earlier on. Third base is getting taken now at the natural. This mothership core being a bit of a nuisance, but a queen will be able to scare it off away. There's also probe transfer coming through. Oh no, the lings. The lings are going to find the probes. Chippy. No forge, mothership core having to back away. Get a little bit of time wasted on the mining though, which is always cool. Zeta chilling, completing the wall off. More drones still coming through. Zergling's speed is about to finish up. Whereas over at the gold base of Riska, we see the robotics facility, forge and a gateway all about to complete. This Zealot is like the best and worst guard simultaneously. On the one hand, he's stopping any Lings getting in the main, but on the other hand, he's allowing a building to be vandalized right in front of him. Not sure which I prefer. Meanwhile, Prebs, he's just getting as many drones as he can. He's just like droning. 2 queens. And a third one on the way there from the gold base, preparing to spread creep. And creep spread is critical if you go for something greedy like this third, because you need to join up your bases so incredibly badly. You need to spread that creep out so you're more safe, so you've got earlier vision of anything that tries to move through, any attacks that may be coming. You need to get reinforcements back even faster. All essential to being able to maintain this. This mothership core just being incredibly annoying. It's got 1 kill though. No worker kills though, so it's obviously a Ling. The Overlord now coming through doesn't quite yet see these additional gateways. One of the cool things about gold bases, and the fact that both of these two players took their gold bases so early, is it really throws off timings. Lots of players aren't accustomed to dealing with gold bases and how it affects build orders and what people can do when. And that's because they're such a rare thing to see. Only one map in the current ladder season has gold bases, and that's Habitation Station. And as such, it's not something that people often have to prepare to deal with, especially taking this as the natural base. What it does allow, though, is a lot more production. We've got additional gateways coming down, going up to actually 8 gates straight away, plus this robotic facility. However, a lot of lings are getting produced. A baneling nest is also coming through. The lair is nearly finished, and roaches are also coming to the field. So this is a very sizable force. Double Immortals already done. The War Prism needed to get them out of there. Of course, they are walled in currently. But the War Prism also needed to allow quick reinforcements. More lings coming through. Banelings morphing on up. But if the force fields are good, that won't be a problem. But I say force fields. What I mean is, what force fields? Only Zealots and Immortals at the moment. There is no force field available. Of course, the Immortals can do a great job of tanking up hits from Banelings because of their hardened shields. In come the lings though. The Banelings following suit. Time Warp goes down. That slows the Banelings a lot, making these hits a lot harder. However, the Immortals also getting focused. There's just so much Zerg here at the moment. They wrap around everything. Good detonations on those Zealots. This push crushed by Prebs, who's continuing in with more ling production, but also getting down some Hydras, adding in 6 more Banelings to the 2 he's already got, going to 8 in total. He wants to try and punch into the main base, and he's gonna be able to do so. There isn't really much defending here. If the sentry gets a beautiful little force field down, it'll be great, but he's just got to get that hit just right. Baneling's still waiting. If anything tries to move down from here, it's dead. Roaches and lings plowing through there. The sentry doesn't have any more energy, so can't force field again, allowing these lings to just stream on through. Actually, no, this the gateway completing the wall off there. I take it back. In the main, though, a Zealot warp in is going to do some more damage, but great stop command on those drones. Keep the Queen safe, and of course, stop command bugs the AI as well, so the Zealots won't attack them unless they were on hold command when they were actually hitting them. A drop in the gold base as well is going to be a little bit annoying. Quite a few drones have been killed. We see that a lot are in there, but the Queen unfortunately does die. Banelings cleaning up a lot of this though. Roaches and a Hydralisk now popping out as well. Should be able to clean out the rest of these Zealots. Of course, Hydras did get a buff to their attack speed from 0.83 down to 0.75, meaning that they deal a little bit more damage per second. Also makes them more effective against Immortals, interestingly enough, of which there are still 2 on the field. No critical damage done on either side. 6 workers killed by the Protoss player. The Immortals still down here, but they can get picked up nice and quick, and that's why the Queen is focusing the War Prism. Wants to try and stop this pick up and drop micro. Doesn't want to have to deal with that. Stargate now coming through. We've got a couple of units still up in the main base, but Prebs with the Hydras, with the Banelings, he looks good. He's got a decent amount of stuff. A drop again though, heading in now towards this gold. The Immortals going to start working through this. A lot of Zealots warping through. Already the Lings and Hydras though making their way back. The War Prism does get taken out with one of the Immortals within it. The second Immortal definitely will now go down, and that's the end of the power units. A couple of Banelings getting a few nice detonations, but the Lings able to clean up the rest of the work. No upgrades on those Lings either. They are 0-0 up against the 1-0 upgrades of Riska. Hydra's now continuing forward. A big warp in of Zealots as the gas count for Riska is quite low. The Hydras though are going to destroy this, and these force fields are actually benefiting the Hydralisks by zoning out the Zealots and being able to engage them. A few more good warp ins coming through. These Hydras unfortunately don't have much high ground vision, but are able to see the fact that there's 2 sentries there. They die very quickly. What's granting the high ground vision here? I can't actually see. It must be a couple of Lings or something up on the high ground. Regardless, down goes a gateway. GG, well played, called, and it's a 2-0 victory for Prebs over Riska.